All right, good morning. Yes, it was hard this morning, but I got my fat ass up out of bed and came to one of my favorite parks. I tell you, I'm so blessed to live in an area that has some amazing parks. Amazing parks where you can come and work out and not be bothered. Nice, cool canopy. I have different locations that I work out just so I don't get bored. But this particular park right here is one of my favorite because of the terrain, because it's ups and down, a little hilly, so it gives my legs a little workout. But I'm just here. I think I'm on my last lap. I'm on my last lap right now. Got a good workout this morning. I'm to be honest with everybody, I'm nervous right now because I have a colonoscopy tomorrow, and I never had one done. I'm 53 years old. It's time. But my two things is I don't like hospitals, and I never been under anesthesia. So I'm nervous. I admit to that. I'm nervous, but I know I got to get through it. I know I got to do it. There's no way around it. It has to be done. Just like, you know, getting up early in the morning and doing what you have to do. I have to go through this. So I don't know. It's tomorrow. I believe tomorrow morning. And I'm gonna just have to do what I gotta do, thug it through, right? But one thing that's on my mind while I'm working out here, right? It's a big event that's happening here in South Florida, in Miami in particular, is with the Cubans. I'm not a scholar on Cuba, and I may not know much about Cuba, but from what I do know, some things ain't adding up, and I want somebody to try and clarify with it, but everybody I talk to have their own story. From what I know is that in the beginning, back in the 40s, 50s, Cuba had its own president, Batista, very good friends with America. And America was going back and forth, had a lot of land ownership in Cuba, and they were making a lot of money. It was beneficial to America, right? But do understand that Cuba was the last place in this Western Hemisphere to abolish slavery. They still had slaves, right? They still had plantations that were ran by slaves. So there was a few little revolts that didn't do much, but when Castro formulated his little army, say little, but they overthrew the government. When Castro got in power, he said he don't want no white Cubans, no black Cubans, he just want Cubans, right? And he loved the land and loved the people and freedom, and that's what it took. Now, America didn't agree with this because they was out to lose money, so they pulled out. Put sanctions on Cuba, put sanctions on Castro, his whole regime, to try and force their hand. And that is still holding up till today. But the people in particular, the white Cubans that had slaves and had plantations and had all this property and money, they lost everything. They got on boats, came here to America, and those are the ones that hate Castro because they lost everything. But if you look at it, 75% of the island is black Africans, black African Cubans, 75%. So be careful on who you talk to over here about how bad Cuba is because of Castro. It's either you could have still lived under that poverty, lived under slavery under Batista, or gain your freedom, whatever freedom that is. They might be poor, there may be sanctions on that's causing low health care, low medicine and everything, because of America, right? And this is the thing I don't understand. Here in South Florida, you see people with the Cuban flag and the American flag on their car. I don't understand that, because Cuba is the way it is because of America, because of those sanctions. They can't get medicine, they can't get good health care, food, supplies, all of that they can't get from America, which is only 80 miles away. So who's to blame? Who's to blame, right? You can't hold the American flag and the Cuban flag up at the same time. So what happened was Castro, Cuba, didn't have no choice but to find help from either Russia or China. Both communists, but they had no choice. So the little healthcare they did get, the little medicines and everything, they had to get from China and get from Russia. So being that that's a communist country, it looks like Cuba is communist. But actually you had their back up against the wall, because without that help from Russia or China, where would they be? America is the pressure. We need to put pressure on America to help Cuba, to lift these sanctions, get them free pass, free health care, medicine that we have here in America. People are dying in Cuba. I'm not condoning anything either way or another. I just know when people are suffering, it's a bad thing. We need to help Cuba. We need to get Cuba back on its feet, end these sanctions, get these people adequate health care, medicine, supplies, food, right? I'm not with this long dictatorship. I believe we have to get a democracy in Cuba to where they vote every 2 or 4 years, to the people to have that type of independence, that type of freedom. We need that for Cuba. Understand, I know the history, but I know suffering better. We white or black, we need to get Cuba back in order. We need to get Cuba back on top, and so the people that have so much pride in that country could feel good about their own land. That's really what's on my mind right now. And I don't know if the sun is bothering, trying to get it to where the sun is not actually an issue. But that's what's on my mind here this morning as I walk around this track. It's a little something that's heavy on my mind, and I want all of us, black or white, Spanish, Caucasian, think about this. We all need to put our hand in and try and help this land that's right in our backyard. These people deserve it. These people need it. They're human. They're from the human race. So let's fight for them. So another thing that's on my mind right now is how long it's gonna take me to get to my car. Yeah, but this is just a little something that I just needed to address this morning. I hope I didn't offend nobody. I hope nobody take concern or try and come after me, but I mean, let's have a respectful dialogue. Let's have an educated conversation about this. I've sat down with many of my Cuban brothers, mostly white, but it's something to think about. All right, and for Vernon and Kanisha, this is how you do it.